Hey, welcome to Next Chapter Idea. Here, we take the world's most inspiring books and turn them into simple, powerful lessons you can use today. We break them down into easy-to-understand stories, practical advice, and actionable steps that help you grow your mindset, master new skills, and become truly irreplaceable. If you love learning and self-growth, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video because every week we dive deeper into ideas that can change your life. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's start the next chapter of your life together.
Every day, millions of people wake up to chase something: success, recognition, money, or freedom. But very few chase what truly matters: becoming irreplaceable. To be irreplaceable means to create value so unique, so authentic that no one else can take your place. It's not about competing harder. It's about becoming someone the world cannot ignore. Because of what you bring, how you think, and who you are. You see, the modern world rewards visibility, noise, and speed. But those who stand the test of time, the ones who shape industries, inspire others, and leave legacies, they operate differently. They think deeper. They act with purpose. They create impact that lasts beyond a moment or a title. This book is for those who refuse to be replaceable. It's for the thinkers, the dreamers, the creators, and the quiet hard workers who know they're meant for something more. Over the next chapters, you'll uncover the habits, mindset, and systems that turn ordinary effort into extraordinary influence. You'll learn how to build discipline when motivation fades, communicate with power and clarity, develop rare skills that multiply your value, build a personal brand that commands respect, and most importantly, live a life of meaning and purpose. Each chapter is designed like a journey, combining stories, psychology, and practical wisdom that you can apply right away. Because becoming irreplaceable isn't about luck, it's about choice. It's about showing up, consistently, intentionally, and with the courage to grow when others settle. So, take a deep breath. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you knows. You're capable of more. Welcome to How to Become Irreplaceable. Your journey starts now. Chapter 1. Discovering your unique. Value before you can become irreplaceable. You must first understand what makes you you. Not your job title, not your education, not even your talents, but the unique combination of your values, perspective, and energy, the part of you that no one else can copy. Every person is born with something original, a pattern of thoughts, a rhythm of emotions, and a way of solving problems that nobody else has. Yet most people never uncover it. They spend their whole lives trying to fit in instead of standing out. To become irreplaceable, you must do the opposite. You must learn to listen to yourself more than the noise around you, the illusion of being replaceable. Many people feel replaceable because they've built their lives on someone else's blueprint. They study what others study. They work the way others work. They think success looks the same for everyone. But the truth is, if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you've already made yourself replaceable. When you follow a path built by others, you live in the shadow of their originality. Becoming irreplaceable starts when you stop copying and start creating. You don't have to invent something revolutionary. You just have to bring your own voice, your own way of solving problems, your own authenticity into everything you do. That is how irreplaceable people begin their journey. Not with comparison, but with clarity. Your value isn't found. It's built. Your value isn't hidden somewhere waiting for discovery. It's constructed through your decisions, habits, and integrity. Each time you show up fully, when you learn, practice, share, or lead, you're adding another layer to your value. Ask yourself, what am I building that nobody else can build in the way I do? Maybe it's the way you comfort people. Maybe it's how you design ideas. Maybe it's how you make complex things feel simple. Your irreplaceability isn't about perfection, it's about pattern. It's the consistency of being your authentic self no matter where you are, the power of self-understanding. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you sat in silence, not scrolling, not working, not rushing, and asked yourself, what do I truly want to give to the world? Most people avoid that question because it's uncomfortable. But the irreplaceable ones? They sit with it. They stay curious. They understand that their uniqueness is their currency and clarity is their compass. When you know what matters to you, you stop chasing validation. You start designing your path step by step around what gives your life meaning. That's how you become rare, not by competing harder, but by knowing yourself deeper. Practical exercise, the uniqueness. Take out a notebook. Write down 3 lists. What gives me energy? The things that make you feel alive, creative, or peaceful. What drains my energy? The things that leave you frustrated, bored, or numb. What do people naturally come to me for? Advice, ideas, emotional support, technical help, anything. Now, look at those lists. Somewhere between what gives you energy and what people come to you for lies your unique value zone. That's where your irreplaceability begins. The lesson becoming. Irreplaceable doesn't begin with skills. It begins with self-awareness. Once you know your authentic strengths, you can refine them into mastery, and mastery is what makes people unforgettable. The first step, then, is not to chase, but to pause, to listen, to notice, to build from who you are, not who others want you to be. Reflection, prompts. What are the 3 qualities that make me feel most alive? When do I feel most confident, and why? How can I express my uniqueness more clearly in what I do every day? Chapter summary. You become irreplaceable by embracing, not hiding, your uniqueness. True value isn't found. It's built through consistent authenticity. Clarity creates confidence. Confusion creates comparison. Start your journey by mapping your energy, strengths, and natural gifts. Chapter 2. Self-confidence and personal mastery. Before the world believes in you, you must learn to believe in yourself, deeply, quietly, and without needing permission. Self-confidence is not built from compliments or success. It's built from evidence. The evidence that you keep your promises. The evidence that you show up even when you're scared. The evidence that no matter how hard it gets, you don't quit on yourself. That's how real confidence is born. The myth of instant confidence. Many people think confidence is a feeling, something magical that suddenly appears. It's not. It's a decision you make repeatedly until it becomes your nature. When you decide to act even while afraid, you're proving something powerful. You can trust yourself, and when you trust yourself, you stop begging for the world's approval. You stop living for validation and start living for growth. A short story. The carpenter's apprentice there was once a young apprentice who wanted to become a master carpenter. He watched his mentor build furniture with perfect precision, every cut clean, every line balanced. The apprentice often felt insecure. "I'll never be that good," he thought. One day, his mentor told him, "Confidence doesn't come from knowing you can do everything right. It comes from knowing you'll handle it even if you do it wrong." That single sentence changed him. He stopped chasing perfection and started practicing. Every mistake became a lesson. Every success became confirmation. Years later, that apprentice became a master. Not because he stopped failing, but because he stopped fearing failure. That's what self-confidence looks like in real life. Quiet evidence collected over time. Lesson 1. Confidence is a habit. Not a trait. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through repetition. Every time you do something uncomfortable, you stretch your comfort zone a little more. Speak up in a meeting. Take a new project. Say no when it matters. Each small act of courage becomes a brick in the wall of your confidence. Do it for long enough, and you'll realize you don't need to feel confident to act. You act first, and confidence follows. Lesson 2. The relationship. Between confidence and mastery, mastery creates confidence, and confidence creates more mastery. It's a loop. When you get good at something through practice, you naturally start believing in your ability. That's why real self-confidence isn't just thinking positive. It's doing consistent work. The more you master your craft, whether it's design, business, art, or leadership, the more evidence your brain collects that you are capable. So if you ever feel low in confidence, stop trying to feel better, start getting better. Skill breeds belief. Lesson 3. The voice inside your head. The biggest enemy of confidence isn't failure. It's your inner dialogue. That quiet voice that says, "You're not enough. You'll never make it. Who are you to do this?" Here's the truth, that voice isn't you. It's fear, disguised as logic. You don't need to silence it. You just need to stop obeying it. Every time you act despite that voice, it loses its power, and one day it will fall silent, not because it's gone, but because you've become louder. Lesson 4. Mastery over emotions, self-mastery. Begins when you learn to manage your emotions instead of being managed by them. You can't control what happens, but you can always control your response. When you get rejected, pause. When someone criticizes you, breathe. When plans fail, step back. The more you practice emotional control, the more powerful you become. Because the person who can stay calm under pressure, that's the one people can't replace. Lesson 5. The quiet confidence of preparation. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance. The loudest person in the room is often the most insecure. Real confidence is silent. It's the peace of knowing, I've done the work. I'm ready. When you prepare deeply, when you study, practice, and plan, you don't need to fake confidence. You own it. Preparation turns anxiety into assurance. That's why mastery is your greatest armor in life. Mini exercise, the confidence tracker. For the next 7 days, do this every night before you sleep. Write down one moment you acted courageously that day, even something small. Write one skill you improved, even slightly. Write one emotion you managed better than before. After a week, you'll see the pattern. You're stronger than you think. Confidence grows silently in the background, like a tree. Invisible for weeks, unstoppable for years. Chapter. Summary: confidence is built from evidence, not compliments. You don't wait to feel brave. You act first, and courage follows. Mastery and confidence feed each other. Emotional control is the foundation of self-mastery. Real confidence is quiet. It's built through preparation, consistency, and integrity. Reflection prompts. 1. What's one area of my life where I want to feel more confident? And what small action can I take today to build it? 2. When was the last time I acted courageously, even when afraid? 3. How can I turn my self-doubt into a training ground for growth? Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about trusting yourself enough to move forward despite fear. And once you master that, you become unstoppable. Chapter 3. Discipline and consistency. The secret to respect. Confidence earns you belief. Discipline earns you respect, and not just from others, from yourself. Confidence says, I can do this. Discipline says, I'll do it anyway. Everyone wants motivation. Few people build discipline, but it's discipline, not motivation, that separates dreamers from doers, talkers from builders, temporary success from lasting greatness. The story. The sculptor and the stone. There was once a sculptor who was known for creating lifelike statues out of solid stone. When people visited his workshop, they always saw him working, tapping the hammer gently, day after day for hours. A visitor once asked him, "How do you stay patient hitting the same spot over and over without seeing results?" The sculptor smiled and said, "I don't hit the same spot expecting it to break today. I hit it knowing that one day one strike will make the crack, but that strike will only work because of the 1,000 that came before it." That is discipline, the invisible effort that makes visible miracles. Lesson 1. Discipline is doing what you said you'd do, long after the feeling is gone. Most people start strong, full of passion, excitement, and motivation. But motivation fades. Discipline is what takes over when motivation dies. Every time you keep your word to yourself, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, you're building something far more powerful than success. You're building trust in yourself. and people respect those who respect their own word. Lesson 2. Consistency. Beats intensity. It's not what you do once that changes your life. It's what you do every day. Anyone can work hard for a week, but the irreplaceable ones, they show up for years. Small steps, done daily, beat big steps done occasionally. Want to master editing, design, business, or storytelling? Don't chase giant leaps. Chase small wins. A drop of water can wear down stone, not through strength, but through consistency. That's how mastery is built, one repetition at a time. Lesson 3. Discipline is freedom. It sounds strange, doesn't it? How can discipline, rules, schedules, routines, bring freedom? Because without discipline, you're a slave to moods. If you only act when you feel like it, your emotions control your destiny. But when you live with discipline, you are in control. You become free from laziness, free from distractions, free from inconsistency. You're not trapped by how you feel. You're guided by what you've decided. True freedom is not doing whatever you want. It's doing what's right, even when it's not easy. Lesson 4. The respect equation. Discipline creates reliability. Reliability creates trust, and trust creates respect. When people see that you show up every day, every time, without excuses, they start to depend on you, and dependence creates value. That's why the most respected people in the world aren't always the most talented. They're the most consistent. They keep their word. They do the work. They deliver. Again and again, respect follows consistency like shadow follows light. Lesson 5. The hard days matter or the huai. Real test of discipline isn't when things go well. It's when everything falls apart. The day you don't want to get up. The day the results don't come. The day nobody notices your effort. That's the day that defines you. Because anyone can work when they're inspired, but only the disciplined work when they're exhausted, heartbroken, or unseen. Those are the moments when greatness is forged. Quietly, painfully, invisibly. Mini practice. The 30-minute rule. Starting small is the secret to lifelong consistency. So here's a rule. No matter what, spend at least 30 minutes a day doing something that moves your life forward. Even if you're tired, even if you're busy, do your 30 minutes. Write, practice, learn, plan, or improve your craft. Because discipline is built like a muscle, not by thinking, but by doing. And those 30 minutes, they're your daily vote for the person you're becoming. Lesson 6. Replace pressure with process. Many people quit not because they lack talent, but because they carry too much pressure. They want fast success, instant results, viral fame. But real progress is quiet. It's slow. It's invisible, and until one day it isn't. If you focus on the process instead of the prize, the results take care of themselves. So stop asking, when will it work? Start asking, how can I improve my process today? Because once you fall in love with the process, you'll never fear losing momentum again. Chapter summary. Discipline begins where motivation ends. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. True freedom comes from controlling your actions, not your moods. People respect reliability more than talent. Hard days build the strongest character. Focus on process over perfection, and success becomes inevitable. Reflection. Prompts. What area of my life could improve if I practiced consistency every day for the next 30 days? 2. How often do I wait to feel ready before acting, and what can I do today, even without motivation? 3. What small daily process could I commit to that would compound over time into something extraordinary? Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect in motion. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you're proving that your goals matter more than your moods. Chapter 4. Integrity and authenticity. The power of being real in a world obsessed with looking perfect. Being real is a superpower. Everywhere you look, people are polishing their image, trying to sound smarter, look stronger, or seem happier than they really are. But deep down, we all crave something else. Truth. Truth in people. Truth in words. Truth in life. because truth builds trust, and trust is what makes you irreplaceable. Lesson 1. Integrity. Doing what's right. Even when it's hard, integrity means doing what you said you would do, especially when no one's watching. It's not about being perfect. It's about being principled. It's easy to talk about values. It's harder to live them. The world respects those who walk their talk. Because most people talk. Few walk. When you act with integrity, when your actions match your words, you become dependable, believable, and unforgettable. People may not always agree with you, but they will always trust you. Story. The honest merchant once. In a small town, there was a merchant who sold spices. One day, a wealthy customer dropped a bag of gold coins at his stall. Nobody noticed. The merchant found the bag hours later. He could have kept it. Nobody would ever know. Instead, he waited until the man returned and handed it back. Years later, that customer became the governor of the region. When he needed someone he could trust completely to manage the kingdom's trade, he chose, and of course, that merchant. The lesson? Opportunities will eventually find people who live with integrity. It might not pay off today, but integrity always compounds, quietly, invisibly, and powerfully. Lesson 2. Authenticity. The courage to be yourself. Being authentic means showing up as you are, not who the world expects you to be. It takes courage to say, "This is me." To not edit your personality to please others, to not hide your flaws. Out of fear of judgment, the irreplaceable ones aren't the most perfect, they're the most authentic. Because authenticity creates emotional connection, and connection creates loyalty. When you're real, people can feel it. They trust you more. They remember you longer. They follow you further. Lesson 3. The cost of faking. Every time you pretend to be someone else, you pay a silent price, your peace. You lose energy trying to maintain an image. You lose joy trying to please everyone. And you lose identity trying to be liked. The moment you stop faking, something incredible happens. You become lighter, calmer, stronger. You start to attract people, work, and opportunities that truly fit you. Authenticity doesn't repel the right people. It repels the wrong ones. That's how you filter your life with truth. Lesson 4. The mirror test. Every day you face one simple test, the mirror test. When you look at yourself, can you say, "I'm proud of the way I handled today"? If yes, you're living with integrity. If no, it's not failure. It's feedback. Integrity is built one choice at a time. The small lies, shortcuts, and excuses, they seem harmless, but they erode your foundation. The more you choose honesty over comfort, the stronger your foundation becomes. Lesson 5. How authentic people build. Influence. Influence doesn't come from pretending to be powerful. It comes from being real. Think of the people who move you, the ones whose words touch your heart or whose presence inspires peace. They're not flawless. They're honest. They don't try to impress you. They try to connect with you. That's why authenticity creates magnetic energy, because it's rare. The more genuine you are, the more trust you build. The more trust you build, the more influence you earn. And influence, rooted in truth, is impossible to replace. Mini practice, the integrity check. Take 10 quiet minutes tonight and ask yourself, did I keep my word today? Did I say or do something that didn't align with who I really am? How can I be more honest tomorrow, with myself and with others? This tiny reflection builds massive strength over time, because integrity, like muscles, grows through daily repetition. Lesson 6. The hidden reward of being real. When you live with authenticity, you stop chasing validation and start attracting respect. You stop performing and start living. You stop competing and start creating. Being real doesn't just make you happier, it makes you unforgettable. Because in a world full of noise, truth has its own voice. Quiet, steady, unshakable. Chapter summary. Integrity is doing what's right even when it's hard. Authenticity is showing up as your true self without apology. Pretending to be someone else costs you peace and energy. Honesty builds trust, and trust builds influence. The most irreplaceable people are those whose inner and outer worlds align. Reflection prompts. 1. When was the last time I chose honesty over comfort? And how did it make me feel? 2. In what areas of my life am I still pretending to be someone I'm not? 3. What would change if I allowed myself to show up as my most authentic self every day? But that's exactly why it's powerful. The more real you become, the more irreplaceable you are, not just in others' eyes, but in your own. Chapter 5. Emotional intelligence, the skill everyone underestimates. What makes a person unforgettable isn't always their talent, intelligence, or beauty. It's their emotional depth. The way they listen when you speak. The way they stay calm when things fall apart. The way they make you feel seen, even when you're silent. That's emotional intelligence, the invisible power that separates the replaceable from the irreplaceable. Lesson 1. What emotional intelligence really means. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is not about being emotional. It's about being aware. Aware of your own emotions. Aware of how your emotions affect others. Aware of the energy you bring into every room. It's the ability to say, I feel angry, but I won't let anger control me. I feel hurt, but I won't let it make me cruel. I feel anxious, but I won't let it stop me. That awareness is what gives you power. Not power over others, but power over yourself. Lesson 2. Mastering the inner weather. Your emotions are like the weather, constantly changing. You can't stop the rain, but you can carry an umbrella. That umbrella is emotional regulation. When you learn to manage your inner storms, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop saying things you'll regret. You stop panicking when life tests you. You stop taking everything personally. People trust those who stay centered in chaos. Because in a storm, everyone looks for the calmest person in the room. Be that person. Story: the calm leader. During a company crisis, the CEO's team was in panic. Sales dropped overnight. While everyone argued, he sat quietly, listening. After a moment, he said softly, "Let's not waste energy on panic. Let's spend it on solutions." That calm tone shifted the entire room. Within hours, new strategies emerged. A month later, they recovered completely. His strength wasn't logic, and it was emotional control. The calmest mind always wins. Lesson 3. Empathy. The secret language of influence, empathy is the art of feeling with others. It's hearing not just words, but emotions. When you truly listen to people, not to reply, but to understand, they open up. They trust you. They follow you. Empathy is what turns ordinary communication into deep connection. Logic makes people think. Empathy makes people act. If you want to influence hearts, start by understanding them. Lesson 4. The emotional mirror. Emotions are contagious. Your energy teaches others how to feel around you. If you bring peace, people feel safe. If you bring tension, they withdraw. Every moment, you're sending emotional signals, and through your tone, eyes, and silence. So the real question is, what emotion do people feel when they're with me? If the answer is peace, inspiration, or clarity, congratulations. You're building emotional value, and emotional value is impossible to replace. Lesson 5. Handling criticism and conflict with grace. Emotionally intelligent people don't fear criticism. They study it. When someone attacks, they pause. Instead of defending their ego, they ask, is there truth in this? They separate emotion from information. That's maturity. Conflict doesn't destroy them. It refines them. Because they understand, you can't control how others treat you. You can only control how you respond. Respond with calm, not chaos. Respond with understanding, not ego. Lesson 6. Self-compassion. The heart of EQ. You can't be emotionally intelligent with others if you're cruel to yourself. Self-compassion means forgiving your mistakes, talking to yourself kindly, and giving yourself space to grow. People who constantly criticize themselves project that same harshness outward. But those who nurture themselves naturally nurture others. To be irreplaceable, you must first be at peace with yourself. Mini practice. The emotional pause. Next time you feel a strong emotion, anger, jealousy, sadness, do this. Pause. Don't react immediately. Name the emotion. I'm feeling anxious. Breathe. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? This tiny habit rewires your emotional patterns over time, because awareness breaks reaction. Lesson 7. The 4 layers of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, knowing what you feel and why. Self-management, controlling impulses and reactions. Social awareness, reading emotions in others. Relationship management, handling interactions smoothly and respectfully. These four form the core human skill that AI can't replace, machines can't replicate, and most people ignore. Master them, and you become magnetic. Lesson 8. The EQ of leadership. Great leaders don't inspire through authority. They inspire through emotional presence. They know when to push, when to listen, when to encourage, and when to stay silent. Their words move people because they're rooted in empathy, not ego. That's why emotional intelligence isn't just a soft skill. It's the master skill. Chapter summary. Emotional intelligence is awareness and control over your inner world. Calm is a superpower and makes people trust you. Empathy creates connection and influence. Emotions are contagious. Choose what you spread. Self-compassion is the foundation of all emotional strength. Reflection. Prompts 1. When was the last time I reacted emotionally and later regretted it? 2. What emotions do people usually feel when they're around me? 3. How can I practice more empathy and emotional control daily? Emotional intelligence turns ordinary moments into meaningful connections. It helps you navigate chaos with calm and lead without force. Chapter 6. Discipline and consistency. The secret to respect most people dream. Few people follow through. They start with excitement but stop when it gets hard. They make promises to themselves and break them quietly when no one is watching. But the ones who become irreplaceable, they are not defined by motivation. They are defined by discipline. Lesson 1. Motivation. Fades discipline, stays. Motivation is a spark. It gets you started. But discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark is gone. Motivation says, I'll do it when I feel like it. Discipline says, I'll do it because I said I would. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is spiritual. When you're disciplined, you stop being controlled by moods. You become guided by principles. And people respect that because consistency builds trust. Story. The man who never missed. There was a boxer who trained at 4 a.m. every morning, rain or shine. One day, a reporter asked him, how do you stay motivated to train every day? He smiled and said, I'm not motivated. I'm committed. That's the difference. Motivation gets you through the good days. Commitment carries you through the bad ones. Irreplaceable people don't wait for inspiration. They build habits that create progress even when they feel nothing. Lesson 2. The rhythm of consistency. Discipline isn't about intensity. It's about rhythm. Anyone can work hard for a week, but the rare ones, they do it every day, every week, every year. They don't sprint. They pace themselves. Because they know success isn't built in explosions. It's built in repetitions. Repetition turns chaos into skill. Repetition turns fear into confidence. Repetition turns goals into reality. Every repetition is a brick. Every day you show up, you're building a wall called legacy. Lesson 3. The invisible respect. People might not praise your discipline today. They might not even notice it. But silently they respect it. Because everyone admires consistency, even if they don't admit it. When you keep showing up, they're early, focused, steady, or people begin to rely on you. Reliability is the purest form of power. Because while talent impresses people, discipline earns their trust. And trust is what makes you irreplaceable. Lesson 4. Discipline is freedom. Most people think discipline is restriction. It's not. It's freedom. Freedom from laziness. Freedom from regret. Freedom from the chaos of indecision. When you have structure, you don't need to overthink. When you have habits, you don't need motivation. When you have focus, you don't get lost in noise. Discipline frees you to live intentionally. A free person isn't the one who does whatever they want. A free person is the one who can make themselves do what's right. Lesson 5. How to build discipline. Discipline isn't born. It's built, one choice at a time. Try this. Start small. Build one non-negotiable habit. Track progress. Each checkmark builds momentum. Reward consistency, not perfection. When you fail, restart instantly. Don't wait for Monday. The key is not to be perfect, and the key is to return quickly. Every time you restart, your discipline grows stronger roots. Lesson 6. The inner dialogue. The hardest battles happen inside your own head. Every morning there's a quiet voice that says, "Not today. You're tired. You can skip this one." That's not laziness, and that's resistance. And resistance doesn't disappear. You simply outgrow it by acting anyway. When your mind says no and you still move, that's how discipline is born. Every time you choose action over comfort, you build a new identity. I am the kind of person who does what I said I would. That identity becomes your armor. Lesson 7. The compounding power of consistency. One workout won't change your body. One book won't make you wise. One act of kindness won't define your character. But doing it every day, that changes everything. Discipline compounds like interest. Small actions done consistently create massive results. You might not see progress every day, but others will months later. Keep planting seeds. The roots are growing even when you can't see them. Story. The quiet builder. There was a carpenter who worked on a massive temple for 10 years. He showed up every morning, hammer in hand, never rushing, never missing. When the temple was finally completed, a man asked, "How did you stay so patient for a decade?" He smiled and said, "I wasn't building a temple. I was building myself." That's discipline. Every act of consistency sculpts you into someone extraordinary. Lesson 8. When it gets boring. Here's the truth no one says out loud. Discipline will feel boring sometimes. You'll wake up, do the same work, follow the same routine, and it will feel repetitive. But that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're growing. Masters don't chase excitement, they chase progress. They learn to find peace in repetition. That's where excellence is born. Not in passion, but in patience. Chapter summary. Motivation starts you. Discipline sustains you. Consistency builds invisible respect. Discipline is freedom, not restriction. Progress is built through repetition. Success belongs to those who return after failure. Reflection prompts 1. Where in my life am I relying on motivation instead of discipline? 2. What's one small habit I can make non-negotiable starting tomorrow? 3. When I fail, how fast do I restart? Who silently respects my consistency, even if they never say it? Discipline makes you unstoppable. Consistency makes you unforgettable. Together, they make you irreplaceable. Chapter 7. The Art of Clear Communication. How words build or break your value. Words are not just sounds. They're bridges. They connect minds, hearts, and worlds. And yet, most people speak without connecting, talk without meaning, and listen without understanding. If you want to become irreplaceable, you must learn the art of communication, the kind that makes people feel heard, understood, and moved. Because communication isn't just about what you say, it's about what others receive. Lesson 1. Clarity is power. When you speak, ask yourself, can this be understood easily? Clarity isn't about using fancy words, it's about removing confusion. Most people try to sound smart. Irreplaceable people try to make others understand, because clarity builds trust. Confusion creates distance. When your words are clear, people feel safe following you. Simplicity isn't weakness, and it's mastery. The best communicators are translators. They take complex ideas and make them feel effortless. Lesson 2. Listening. The most powerful form of speaking. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to reply. They wait for their turn to talk. They collect words, not feelings. But true communication starts with silence. When you listen deeply, you give someone the rarest gift, attention. And attention creates connection. When people feel heard, they lower their defenses. They trust you. They open up. That's when influence begins. Listening is the quiet act that builds loud respect. Lesson 3. Speak with intention, not impulse. Every word you speak carries energy. It can build or break, heal or hurt. Irreplaceable people think before they talk. They pause, breathe, and ask, is what I'm about to say kind, clear, and necessary? That pause, that 1 second of awareness, can prevent hours of regret. Because impulsive words cut deep. But intentional words create peace. Story. The manager who spoke with purpose. There was a young manager who led a small creative team. One morning, a project failed. Everyone expected anger. But she simply said, "We didn't fail. We learned what doesn't work. Let's fix it. No yelling, no blame. Just clarity, calm, and focus." Her words turned anxiety into action. That's the power of communication done right. It turns fear into direction. Lesson 4. Emotional tone. What people really. Here people don't just hear your words, they feel your tone. You can say I'm fine with anger, and it sounds like war. You can say I'm fine with calm, and it sounds like peace. Tone reveals truth. To communicate well, match your words with your energy. Speak slowly when it matters. Use pauses like punctuation for the soul. The right tone can soften truth, calm chaos, or inspire courage. People forget words, but they never forget how you made them feel. Lesson 5. The 3 golden rules of communication. Be clear. Say exactly what you mean. Be kind. Say it in a way that uplifts, not wounds. Be consistent. Let your words match your actions. When your words and actions align, people trust you instantly. When they don't, trust disappears silently. Integrity in communication means saying less but meaning more. Lesson 6. The courage to speak the truth. Being kind doesn't mean being silent. Sometimes honesty is the highest form of kindness. But honesty without empathy becomes cruelty, and empathy without honesty becomes weakness. True communication balances both. It says, I care about you, so I'll tell you the truth, but gently. Irreplaceable people know when to speak hard truths, not to hurt, but to help. Lesson 7. Reading the room before you speak. Observe. Notice people's body language, energy, and silence. Are they defensive or open? Tired or inspired? Great communicators adjust their tone and timing to match the room. They don't force messages and they fit them. Because communication isn't just about expression, it's also about timing. The right message at the wrong time still fails. Lesson 8. Non-verbal power. Your body speaks louder than your mouth. Your eyes, hands, posture, they tell stories words can't. A confident but gentle presence commands respect. Look people in the eye when you talk. Stand tall but relaxed. Smile genuinely, because before you speak a word, people have already felt you. Lesson 9. The art of storytelling facts in form. Stories transform. If you want to make an idea unforgettable, wrap it in a story. Stories bypass logic and speak to emotion. They make people feel, not just think. Tell stories of struggle, lessons, and triumph. Your vulnerability becomes your message. Because people don't connect with perfection, they connect with authenticity. Lesson 10. Words that build bridges. Communication is not about winning arguments, it's about building understanding. Before you speak, ask, will my words create connection or division? Choose words that invite conversation, not conflict. Instead of you're wrong, say I see it differently, can I share why? That single shift changes everything. Chapter summary. Clarity creates trust. Confusion destroys it. Listening is the foundation of real communication. Your tone shapes how people feel about your message. Truth must be balanced with empathy. Stories make ideas unforgettable. Great communicators build bridges, not walls. Reflection prompts. 1. When was the last time I spoke without truly listening? 2. What emotion do people usually feel after talking with me? 3. How can I speak more clearly and kindly in difficult situations? What story from my life could inspire or teach others? Communication is not just a skill, it's a legacy.
Your words live longer than you do.
Use them to lift, guide, and connect, not to hurt or divide. Chapter 8. Problem solving and creative thinking. Turning obstacles into opportunities. Every great achievement began with a problem. A question that had no easy answer. A wall that seemed too high to climb. But the people who change the world don't run away from problems. They run toward them. Because they understand a secret. Every problem hides an opportunity in disguise. The difference between ordinary and irreplaceable people is simple. Ordinary people avoid problems. Irreplaceable ones solve them creatively. Lesson 1. The mindset shift. From fear to curiosity, most people see problems and think, why me? Creative thinkers see problems and think, interesting. Why did this happen? One is emotional. The other is analytical. When you replace frustration with curiosity, you unlock your ability to think clearly. Curiosity removes fear. It turns chaos into patterns and confusion into discovery. Don't panic when something breaks. Ask, what can this teach me? That single question transforms your mind from victim to creator. Story, the broken camera. There was a young filmmaker who saved money for months to buy his first camera. On the first day of shooting, it broke. He sat in silence, angry, disappointed, ready to give up. But instead, he asked, what if I film using my phone? That single idea became the birth of his creative style, handheld, raw, emotional. Years later, his style defined an entire film movement. The problem didn't stop him, it shaped him. Every obstacle carries a lesson, but only the curious mind will see it. Lesson 2. Slow down to see clearly. When problems appear, your first instinct is to react fast, to fix, rush, or escape. But great problem solvers do something counterintuitive. They pause. They observe before acting. Because when your mind is calm, it sees patterns others miss. Slow thinking leads to smart solutions. Creativity isn't born in panic, it's born in patience. So when life gets messy, step back, breathe, look again. Sometimes the answer is already there, just hidden beneath the noise. Lesson 3. Think like a scientist, not a judge. Most people treat problems like verdicts. This is bad. This is wrong. This shouldn't have happened. Scientists, on the other hand, treat problems like experiments. They say, let's test. Let's learn. Let's see what happens. That mindset changes everything. Failure becomes data. Mistakes become insight. When you treat life like a lab, every problem becomes a puzzle waiting to be solved, not a punishment to be feared. Lesson 4. The power of what if. Two of the most powerful words in creative thinking are, what if? What if we try it another way? What if this failure is a clue? What if this problem is a hidden opportunity? These two words turn limitations into innovation. The greatest ideas in history were born from what if. What if we could light a dark room? Electricity. What if we could fly? Airplanes. What if we could talk across oceans? The internet. Irreplaceable people live in the world of what if. They don't wait for answers, they create them. Lesson 5. Combining logic and imagination. Problem solving isn't just logic, it's imagination married to clarity. Logic gives you direction. Imagination gives you freedom. You need both. When something doesn't work, ask, what do I know? And what could I try? Facts guide your steps. Creativity expands your path. Every solution begins where logic and imagination meet. Story. The coffee shop idea. A designer once lost her job and sat at a cafe, unsure of what to do next. Instead of complaining, she started sketching designs on napkins. One day, a stranger saw her sketches and asked to buy one. That moment turned into a small online store, which became a global brand. Her problem wasn't the end. It was the redirection she needed. Lesson 6. Train your brain to think differently. Creative thinking is a skill, not a gift. You can train it like a muscle. Try these daily habits, ask more questions. Curiosity opens possibilities. Change your environment. New places spark new ideas. Challenge assumptions, ask what if I'm wrong? Learn from other fields. A musician can teach a marketer. A chef can inspire a designer. Take breaks. Rest refreshes perspective. Creativity grows when your mind is free but focused. Lesson 7. Problems are feedback. A problem isn't life punishing you. It's life showing you what needs attention. When something doesn't work, don't label it as failure. See it as feedback. Every problem you solve increases your internal value, because the marketplace and the world rewards problem solvers, not complainers. The bigger the problem you can handle calmly, the more valuable you become. That's why emotionally strong and mentally flexible people rise. They don't say, why me? They say, try me. Lesson 8. Collaborative problem solving. You don't have to solve everything alone. Creative people seek input. Two perspectives can reveal blind spots one person can't see. When you brainstorm, you mix ideas, experiences, and insights. That fusion creates innovation. Solving together doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser. Great leaders aren't the smartest in the room. They're the ones who bring the smartest people together. Lesson 9. From solution to innovation. Problem solving doesn't stop at fixing. It grows into creating. Once you solve something, ask yourself, can I make this even better? That's where innovation begins. Don't just stop when the problem disappears. Keep improving until your solution becomes your strength. Lesson 10. The irreplaceable mind. Irreplaceable people are not those who avoid chaos. They are the ones who bring order to it. They stay calm in crisis. They think clearly under pressure. They see beauty in brokenness. When everyone else says, it's impossible, they whisper, let's find a way. Chapter summary: every problem is an invitation to grow. Replace frustration with curiosity. Slow thinking leads to clear solutions. What if? Thinking creates innovation. Combine logic with imagination. Problems are feedback, not punishment. Collaboration multiplies creativity. Reflection prompts. 1. What's one problem in my life that could be an opportunity in disguise? 2. How can I respond to obstacles with curiosity instead of frustration? 3. Which daily habit can I use to strengthen my creative thinking? Who could I collaborate with to see my challenges differently? Every problem is a doorway to a new level of you. When you stop avoiding challenges and start exploring them, you turn your life into a masterpiece of creative solutions. Chapter 9. Decision-making and risk-taking. How bold choices build confidence and freedom. Life rewards the bold. The timid wait for permission. The careful wait for certainty. The brave step forward, even when the path is unclear. Every irreplaceable person shares one trait. They make decisions, and they own them. They understand a truth most people ignore. Indecision is a decision, and it's often the wrong one. Lesson 1. The paralysis of overthinking. Most people never fail because of mistakes. They fail because they wait too long. They analyze, research, and hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, which never comes. Decision-making is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing enough and taking action. Progress is made by moving forward, not by waiting for clarity. Even small decisions compound over time. They create momentum, and momentum turns into confidence. Lesson 2. Trusting your inner compass. Every person has intuition, an internal GPS shaped by experience, knowledge, and values. Irreplaceable people learn to listen to it. They check facts, then follow their instincts. Decision-making is a balance between logic and gut. Ignoring one creates imbalance. Pure logic leads to hesitation. Pure intuition leads to recklessness. Combine both, and you become unstoppable. Story. The entrepreneur's leap. A young entrepreneur had a stable job but dreamed of starting a business. She analyzed every risk, but the numbers never felt safe enough. One night, she decided, I may not know everything, but I know I want this more than fear. She quit the job the next day. 3 years later, her company became a global brand. The secret? Not luck, a bold choice and ownership. Bold decisions create opportunities where others see obstacles. Lesson 3. Risk is not the enemy. Risk is often misnamed. It's not danger, it's potential reward with uncertainty. Every growth moment carries risk. Every success story involves someone who acted despite fear. Risk doesn't mean recklessness. It means calculated courage. You grow fastest outside your comfort zone. Comfort may feel safe, but it slowly erodes your value. Bold choices build resilience, wisdom, and irreplaceability. Lesson 4. The fear paradox. Fear is natural. But the presence of fear doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. It means you're on the edge of growth. Irreplaceable people feel fear and act anyway. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, it's mastery of it. Fear is a compass pointing to your next level. Lesson 5. Decision fatigue. Protect your energy. Making too many small decisions drains mental energy. Irreplaceable people protect their focus. They automate routines, prioritize high-value decisions, and delegate where possible. This keeps their mind clear for the decisions that truly matter. Your time and energy are finite. Guard them like treasure. Lesson 6. When decisions fail, even bold choices sometimes fail. Failure is not shame, it's data. It teaches lessons that success never could. Irreplaceable people don't wallow. They analyze, adjust, and move forward. A failed decision is better than no decision at all, because no action guarantees stagnation, and stagnation guarantees irrelevance. Lesson 7. The confidence loop. Bold choices create a loop. 1. Make a decision. Take action. Learn from the outcome. Adjust and move forward. Each cycle builds confidence. Each risk strengthens courage. Each choice reinforces self-trust. Confidence isn't given. It's earned through action. Lesson 8. The role of values in decisions. The best decisions align with your core values. Without values as a guide, decisions become random, reactive, or chaotic. Ask, does this choice honor who I want to be? When your decisions align with values, fear decreases, clarity increases, and impact multiplies. Irreplaceable people make decisions from a place of principle, not convenience. Lesson 9. Calculated risk. Taking risk is not gambling, it's strategic. Gather information. Evaluate potential outcomes. Prepare for contingencies. Commit fully. Boldness plus preparation, high impact results. Irreplaceable people are never reckless. They are brave with strategy. Lesson 10. The habit of decisiveness. Becoming decisive is a habit, not a talent. Start small, decide quickly on minor matters. Reflect on results. Increase the stakes gradually. Learn to own outcomes without excuses. Over time, decisiveness becomes second nature, and life responds by giving you more opportunities to lead and create impact. Chapter summary. Indecision is hidden failure. Bold choices compound into confidence. Fear signals growth, not weakness. Failure teaches lessons that success cannot. Alignment with values strengthens decision-making. Calculated risks and action create influence and freedom. Reflection. Prompts 1. What important decision have I been avoiding? 2. How can I balance logic and intuition in my next choice? 3. What fear is pointing me toward growth? How can I turn past failed decisions into lessons? Life doesn't wait for perfection. It rewards those who act despite fear. Decisions are your leverage. Bold choices are your currency. Chapter 10. Networking and influence. How relationships multiply your value. They say, your network is your net worth. But that's only half the truth. The real power of networking is not in the number of people you know, it's in how deeply you connect, influence, and create value for others. Irreplaceable people understand one unspoken rule. Skills can make you useful. Connections can make you unstoppable. Lesson 1. Stop collecting contacts. Start building trust. Most people treat networking like a numbers game. They collect LinkedIn connections, business cards, or social media friends. But irreplaceable people don't chase quantity. They chase quality and trust. Trust is earned through consistency, reliability, authentic care for others. Think of your relationships like a garden. Water it with attention. Remove weeds of neglect. Allow growth over time. A single deep connection can create opportunities that hundreds of shallow ones cannot. Story: The Coffee Shop Mentor. A young designer visited a local cafe every morning. He noticed a seasoned artist sketching quietly. Instead of introducing himself immediately, he observed for weeks, learning from a distance. One day, he struck up a simple conversation. "I really admire your work. Could I learn from you?" The artist agreed, and over months, that mentorship became a career-launching relationship. The point isn't charm or luck, it's patience, respect, and genuine interest. Irreplaceable people know when to listen first, approach later. Lesson 2. Influence is a byproduct of value, not ego. Influence is not about persuasion, manipulation, or force. It's about providing real value to others. When you help someone achieve their goals, offer insight, or solve a problem, influence follows naturally. Think of influence like gravity. The more value you radiate, the stronger the pull. People don't follow titles, they follow impact. Lesson 3. The art of authentic connection. Authenticity is the cornerstone of influence. Ask questions that matter. Remember details about people's lives. Celebrate their wins and support them in struggles. Small acts, a thoughtful message, a remembered birthday, a helpful suggestion, create enormous emotional currency. People forget words. They forget actions. But they never forget how you made them feel. Irreplaceable people make others feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Story: The CEO who remembered names. A CEO of a mid-sized tech company had an extraordinary habit. He remembered the name of every employee he met, even janitors, interns, and part-time staff. When asked why, he said, "If you make someone feel important, they will move mountains for you, even when you don't ask." This tiny habit created loyalty that money could never buy. Lesson 4. Networking is a two-way street. Relationships are not one-way transactions. Giving without expectation is the foundation of irreplaceability. Ask yourself, how can I help today? What value can I add even without immediate gain? The world rewards generosity because those who give authentically receive exponentially. Influence is strongest when it's reciprocal, not forced. Lesson 5. The power of listening and observation. The most influential people are excellent observers. They notice what someone struggles with, what motivates them, what inspires them. Then, they use that insight to support and connect. People trust those who understand them better than they understand themselves. Observation plus action equals influence. Lesson 6. Timing. When to speak, when to step back. Irreplaceable people don't just connect. They time their input perfectly. Offer advice when asked, not imposed. Share ideas when others are receptive, not defensive. Celebrate successes in real time, not delayed. Timing is subtle but powerful. A word at the wrong moment can destroy trust. A gesture at the right moment can change a life. Influence is about reading people, not forcing them. Lesson 7. The long game. Patience in relationships. Most relationships fail because people expect instant results. Irreplaceable people play the long game. They invest years in mentorship, partnership, and friendships. They understand that seeds take time to grow. They show up consistently, even when there is no immediate reward. Influence is earned slowly, respected forever. Story. The network that saved a career. A young entrepreneur faced bankruptcy. He reached out to a former mentor he had helped years ago. Because of past investments in the relationship, the mentor offered advice, introductions, and financial support. One relationship, built on trust, consistency, and genuine care, saved an entire career. Lesson 8. Influence through storytelling. Storytelling is not just for entertainment. It's a key networking tool. Sharing authentic stories creates emotional connection, communicates values, inspires action. Irreplaceable people share lessons from life, not to impress, but to empower and relate. Stories are bridges between experience and influence. Lesson 9. Boundaries. Respect yourself to earn respect. Being influential doesn't mean saying yes to everyone. It means setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and respecting your time. People respect those who know when to say no, prioritize what matters. Stay consistent with values. Boundaries don't push people away. They create clarity and reliability. Lesson 10. Multiply your value through others. Irreplaceable people understand a key truth. Your network is not just a support system. It is a multiplier of your impact. When you connect authentically, provide value, and influence positively, others amplify your reach. The right relationships make your ideas bigger, your vision clearer, and your results faster. Alone you go faster. Together you go further. Chapter Summary. Build relationships for trust, not numbers. Influence comes from value, authenticity, and consistency. Observe, listen, and time your input wisely. Relationships require patience and the long game. Boundaries strengthen respect. Networking multiplies your impact and opens new opportunities. Reflection prompts. 1. Which relationships in my life are genuine and mutually beneficial? 2. How can I add value to someone without expecting immediate return? 3. Who do I admire for their influence, and what can I learn from them? How can I improve my listening, observation, and timing to strengthen my impact? Influence is not about domination. It's about connection, trust, and value. The relationships you nurture today multiply the opportunities, impact, and respect you will receive tomorrow. Chapter 11. Personal branding and reputation. How the world perceives your value. Your personal brand is not a logo, a LinkedIn profile, or a fancy title. It is the sum total of how people perceive you, consciously and unconsciously. It is the imprint you leave on minds and hearts long after you leave a room. Reputation is invisible, yet it opens doors. It is quiet, yet it carries more weight than skill, effort, or even money. Irreplaceable people understand, you cannot control everything, but you can control how you show up. Lesson 1. Reputation is built through consistent action. People judge not by what you say, but by what you do consistently. Deliver on promises, even small ones. Be reliable when no one is watching. Show up with energy and focus every time. Consistency creates trust. Trust becomes respect. Respect builds influence. Influence establishes irreplaceability. Your reputation is a shadow of your habits. Cultivate it wisely. Story. The waiter who became legendary. In a small city, there was a waiter named Samuel. He served every customer with the same smile, attention, and care, regardless of tips, complaints, or stress. Years later, that restaurant became famous, not for the food, but because Samuel's reputation for excellence set the tone for everyone else. Small, consistent actions create monumental impressions. Irreplaceable people leave a mark that lingers in the minds of others. Lesson 2. Personal branding starts with self-awareness. Before others can see your value, you must understand it yourself. Ask, what do I stand for? What do I want to be known for? What makes me unique? Your brand grows from clarity of identity. Without it, your image is scattered, inconsistent, and forgettable. People follow and trust those who know who they are. Lesson 3. Storytelling shapes your brand. Your story is your currency. How you frame experiences, challenges, and successes communicates your value. Share lessons from failures, not just victories. Highlight growth, not just talent. Be authentic. Imperfection creates relatability. Irreplaceable people are storytellers. Their life itself becomes a narrative that inspires trust and admiration. Lesson 4. Visibility matters. Subtle, not loud. Your reputation cannot grow if it's invisible. But visibility doesn't mean arrogance. Share work consistently. Offer insights in conversations or platforms. Let results speak louder than self-promotion. Think of yourself like a lighthouse. Not shouting in the fog, but radiating light consistently so others can navigate toward you. Influence grows quietly but powerfully when paired with consistency. Lesson 5. The perception gap. People judge you not by your intentions, but by their perceptions. Even if your motives are pure, sloppy execution, broken promises, or inconsistency, will create a negative reputation. Actions, words, always. Irreplaceable people close the perception gap by aligning intentions with visible, repeatable actions. Story. The engineer who built trust. A software engineer always delivered projects late in college, not because of laziness, but because he underestimated timelines. Once he realized this, he started setting realistic deadlines and communicating proactively. People noticed, trust increased, and soon he was recommended for every critical project. The shift wasn't in skill, it was in perception through reliable action. Lesson 6. Reputation is fragile, guard it carefully. It takes years to build a strong reputation and seconds to damage it. Avoid gossip and negativity. Honor commitments, even small ones. Stay calm under pressure. Your reactions are observed. Every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen or weaken your brand. Irreplaceable people are deliberate in their presence, in conversations, decisions, and even digital footprints. Lesson 7. Align brand, action, and values. Your personal brand becomes irreplaceable when identity, action, and perception align. Identity, who you are and what you stand for. Action, what you do consistently to reflect that identity. Perception, how the world experiences you. When these three align, people don't just like you, they trust you, follow you, and advocate for you. Misalignment creates confusion. Alignment creates magnetic influence. Lesson 8. The ripple effect of a strong brand. A strong personal brand multiplies influence. Opportunities find you instead of you chasing them. People recommend you without being asked. Your work impacts far beyond immediate efforts. Irreplaceable people create ripples that extend beyond their control. Their reputation amplifies their skills, decisions, and relationships. Lesson 9. Handling mistakes and reputation. Crises, mistakes happen, even to irreplaceable people. Own it immediately. Communicate clearly and transparently. Take corrective action. Learn and adjust systems to prevent repetition. How you handle mistakes defines your long-term brand more than perfection ever could. Integrity under pressure solidifies your reputation. Lesson 10. Leave a legacy, not just a resume. At the end of the day, personal branding is about legacy, the memory you leave behind. Ask yourself, what do I want people to remember about me? How do my actions today reflect that future image? Am I building trust, respect, and influence with every interaction? Irreplaceable people live each day deliberately, shaping a brand that endures long after their presence. Chapter summary: reputation is built through consistent, visible action. Self-awareness and clarity define your brand. Storytelling amplifies trust and relatability. Alignment of identity, action, and perception creates magnetic influence. Mistakes handled with integrity strengthen your long-term brand. Personal branding is a legacy, not just a profile or title. Reflection prompts. How do others perceive me versus how I want to be perceived? Which consistent actions can strengthen my reputation today? What story from my life can communicate my values and lessons? How can I align my identity, actions, and perception more clearly? What steps can I take to protect my brand in challenging situations? Your personal brand is the lens through which the world sees you. It can open doors, multiply your influence, and make your work unforgettable. Every interaction, every decision, every choice builds or erodes it. Show up deliberately. Act consistently. Speak with integrity. Your brand is your silent power and the foundation of irreplaceability. Chapter 12. Time Mastery. How irreplaceable. People control their most valuable resource, time. It is the one resource that cannot be earned back, borrowed, or stored for later. Money can be made again. Opportunities can come and go. Skills can be learned, but time is final. Every second that passes is gone forever. Irreplaceable people understand this better than anyone. They don't just manage time, they master it. Because mastering time is not about being busy. It's about being effective, intentional, and unstoppable. Lesson 1. The myth of multitasking. Most people believe that doing more at once equals productivity. But research and real-life experience shows the opposite. Imagine Sarah, a young marketing manager. She checks emails while on Zoom calls and edits reports while answering messages. By the end of the day, she feels exhausted, her work is half finished, and stress is high. Then she tries something radical. Single tasking. She blocks 90 minutes for emails, then 2 hours for deep project work, no interruptions allowed. The result? She finishes more in 4 hours than she used to in 10. Her mind feels lighter, creativity flows, and her deadlines? Always met. Lesson: multitasking steals focus, energy, and effectiveness. Irreplaceable people protect focus like treasure. Actionable step: 1. Identify your 3 most important tasks for the day. 2. Allocate uninterrupted time blocks for each. 3. Turn off notifications. Treat this as sacred. Lesson 2. Time is your mirror of priorities. How you spend your time is a reflection of what truly matters. John, a freelance designer, complains he doesn't have time for learning or personal growth. But when he tracks his week, he realizes 12 hours on social media, 8 hours on low-value emails, 5 hours on repetitive tasks. The harsh truth: his time reflected what he allowed to dominate it, not what he wanted. Irreplaceable people design their schedule around priorities, not distractions. Reflection prompt: look at your last week. What does it reveal about your true priorities? Actionable step: 1. List your 3 highest value goals. 2. Map your current weekly schedule. 3. Cut or delegate tasks that don't align with your goals. Lesson 3. The power of a daily routine. Routine is not boring, it is a scaffold for mastery. Maria, a novelist, wakes at 5 a.m. She journals, reads, and writes 1,000 words before the world wakes. Her routine doesn't restrict her, it liberates her creativity. Irreplaceable people use rituals and routines to protect high-value time. Even 30 minutes of focused morning work compounds into life-changing results over months and years. Actionable step: 1. Identify your peak energy hours. 2. Assign your most important tasks to these hours. 3. Build small daily rituals to start and end your day with focus and intention. Lesson 4. Learn the art of saying no. Time mastery is not just about doing the right things, it's about refusing the wrong things. Friend, can you help with this small project? You. I'd love to, but I'm focusing on a high-priority project right now. Many people fear saying no. They overcommit, stretch themselves thin, and feel guilty. Irreplaceable people say no with confidence and clarity. They understand that every yes is a yes to something else, usually their goals. Actionable step: 1. Track your commitments for a week. 2. Identify low-value tasks. 3. Politely decline or delegate them. 4. Notice how your focus and energy increase. Lesson 5. Time block for deep work. Deep work is focused, uninterrupted, high-value effort. Alex, a software developer, realized most of his day was eaten by meetings and emails. He tried time blocking, 3-hour deep work sessions for coding, uninterrupted. The result? Projects finished faster, higher quality output, and a strong sense of progress. Irreplaceable people protect their deep work like gold. Tip: 2 to 3 focused sessions a day are more valuable than 10 fragmented hours. Actionable step: 1. Identify your high-value tasks. 2. Schedule 1 to 3 daily time blocks of uninterrupted focus. 3. Inform others not to disturb you during these blocks. Lesson 6. The 80-20 rule. Focus on the vital few. Not all tasks are equal. 80% of results often come from 20% of efforts. Irreplaceable people identify the vital few and give them maximum attention. Tom's startup team spends hours on reports and minor emails. Tom notices that just 2 core actions generate 80% of revenue. He reallocates the team to focus solely on these high-impact activities. Revenue doubles in 3 months. Focus on what moves the needle. Ignore what doesn't. Actionable step. 1. List all your weekly tasks. 2. Identify the 20% that produces 80% of results. 3. Prioritize and protect these tasks. Lesson 7. Protect. Your energy, not just your time. Time mastery is meaningless without mental and physical energy. Lena used to work late into the night but felt drained. She switched to taking short breaks, exercising, and meditating. Her productivity skyrocketed, fewer hours, higher results. Irreplaceable people know you cannot pour from an empty cup. Actionable step. 1. Schedule energy-restoring activities daily. 2. Avoid tasks that drain without returns. 3. Align work with your energy peaks. Lesson 8. Batch tasks to multiply efficiency. Batching is grouping similar tasks together to reduce context switching. Colleague. How do you answer so many emails without stress? You. I batch them twice a day, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. This simple technique frees hours every week. Irreplaceable people design workflows to maximize focus and minimize interruptions. Actionable step. 1. Identify repetitive tasks. 2. Schedule them in blocks. 3. Avoid multitasking during these periods. Lesson 9. Reflect and plan. Weekly time mastery requires continuous reflection. Every week review what went well, what wasted, time. What are the priorities for next week? Irreplaceable people treat time as a strategy, not a schedule. Planning ensures alignment with goals and vision. Actionable step. Set aside 30 to 60 minutes weekly. Review accomplishments and challenges. Adjust upcoming priorities. Lesson 10. Treat every second as investment. Every moment is either an investment in your growth or a distraction from your goals. Irreplaceable people view time as the ultimate currency. They ask constantly, is this moment helping me grow, create, or move toward my vision? When you adopt this mindset, procrastination disappears, focus sharpens, and life transforms. Chapter summary. Stop multitasking. Protect your focus. Align time with true priorities. Build daily routines and rituals. Say no to low-value tasks confidently. Use deep work and batching to maximize efficiency. Apply the 80-20 rule to focus on vital tasks. Protect mental and physical energy. Reflect weekly to plan and align with goals. Treat every second as an investment in your future. Reflection. Prompts. 1. How do I currently spend my time versus how I want to spend it? 2. Which tasks steal my focus without adding value? 3. What daily routines could boost my energy and output? 4. What is one deep work task I can focus on tomorrow? How can I treat every second as an investment in my growth? Time is your most precious resource. Master it, protect it, respect it. Because how you use every second determines the scale of your impact, your growth, and your legacy. Chapter 13. Emotional Intelligence. How irreplaceable people navigate life and influence others. What separates the highly skilled from the truly irreplaceable? It isn't just knowledge, talent, or hard work. It's the ability to understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and others. This is emotional intelligence, the silent superpower of every person who leaves a lasting impact. Lesson 1. Self-awareness, the foundation of emotional intelligence. Irreplaceable people start by knowing themselves deeply. Story scene, mirror reflection, early morning, quiet house. Emma, a project manager, felt constantly frustrated with her team. She noticed her patience thinning, her tone sharp during meetings. Instead of blaming others, she asked, "Why do I feel this way? What is triggering me?" By journaling, she realized her stress came from unrealistic personal expectations. Her frustration reflected her fear of failure, Once she understood her triggers, she could respond deliberately, not react impulsively. Self-awareness is the first step to mastery. Without it, emotions control you, instead of the other way around. Actionable step. 1. Each morning, take 5 minutes to check in with yourself. 2. Identify your emotional state and possible triggers. 3. Journal thoughts or feelings to create clarity. Lesson 2. Self-regulation. Mastering impulses. Knowing your emotions is one thing. Controlling them is another. Emma's team was arguing over a project deadline. She felt her anger rising, ready to lash out. Instead, she paused, breathed, and said, "Let's take a 5-minute break and regroup." By regulating her response, she avoided conflict and modeled calm leadership. Irreplaceable people pause, reflect, and choose their actions, even under pressure. Actionable step. 1. Identify situations that trigger strong emotions. 2. Practice pausing before reacting. 3. Use deep breathing or mental reframing to respond calmly. Lesson 3. Motivation, the inner engine. External rewards are temporary. Irreplaceable people are powered by intrinsic motivation, purpose, growth, and meaning. David, an entrepreneur, spent years building a product that wasn't profitable yet. Instead of quitting, he reminded himself, "This solves a problem people deeply care about. I want to make a difference." This intrinsic drive carried him through rejection, failure, and doubt. Motivation fueled by purpose lasts longer than motivation fueled by praise or money. Actionable step. 1. Identify your why for every major goal. 2. Remind yourself daily of this purpose. 3. Track progress to reinforce intrinsic satisfaction. Lesson 4. Empathy, seeing through others' eyes. Understanding emotions in others is the heart of influence. Emma noticed her colleague's distracted behavior. Instead of frustration, she asked gently, "You seem off today. Is there anything I can help with?" Her colleague opened up about personal stress. By showing empathy, Emma not only strengthened trust, but inspired loyalty and collaboration. Irreplaceable people listen deeply, feel deeply, and respond meaningfully. Actionable step. 1. Practice active listening. Repeat back what you hear. 2. Notice nonverbal cues, tone, posture, expressions. 3. Respond with understanding, not judgment. Lesson 5. Social skills. Influence. Without force, emotional intelligence is useless without the ability to connect, persuade, and inspire. Team member. I don't think we can meet this deadline. Irreplaceable leader. I understand your concern. Let's break it down and see where we can adjust. I believe in your skills to make it work. Instead of forcing compliance, they inspired cooperation and ownership. Social skills are about aligning people with a shared goal, without coercion. Actionable step. 1. Build rapport before discussing tasks. 2. Frame requests around mutual goals. 3. Celebrate contributions openly to strengthen influence. Lesson 6. Handling criticism and conflict. Gracefully. Irreplaceable people treat conflict as a growth opportunity, not a threat. Instead of replying defensively, Emma wrote, "Thank you for the feedback. I see your point, and here's how I plan to address it." By managing emotions and responding constructively, she turned critics into allies. Actionable step. 1. Pause and detach emotionally from criticism. 2. Seek the lesson or insight. 3. Respond respectfully and constructively. Lesson 7. Emotional agility. Adapting to change life is unpredictable. Irreplaceable people navigate change with flexibility. When a key client canceled, instead of despair, the team lead said, "This is unexpected, but let's pivot. Where can we find the opportunity in this challenge?" Emotional agility transforms stress into creativity, fear into action. Actionable step. 1. Practice reframing challenges as opportunities. 2. Notice emotional reactions to change without judgment. 3. Choose constructive responses deliberately. Lesson 8. Building emotional influence. Influence is not manipulation. It's creating positive emotional resonance. A mentor noticed their mentee was losing confidence. Instead of criticizing, they shared a story of personal failure and recovery. The mentee felt inspired, motivated, and trusted the mentor deeply. Irreplaceable people lead emotionally before logically. Actionable step. 1. Use stories, shared experiences, and emotional language to inspire. 2. Notice the emotional state of your audience before presenting ideas. 3. Align messages with values and feelings. Lesson 9. Mindfulness, emotional control. Through awareness. Mindfulness is a tool to observe emotions without being consumed. Irreplaceable people use mindfulness to reduce reactive behavior, strengthen clarity in decision-making, maintain calm under pressure. Awareness creates choice. Reaction destroys it. Actionable step. 1. Spend 10 to 15 minutes daily in silent observation of thoughts and feelings. 2. Practice labeling emotions without judgment. Notice patterns in emotional triggers and responses. Lesson 10. Emotional intelligence as a lifelong practice. Emotional intelligence is not innate. It is cultivated. Practice reflection daily. Learn from failures and successes. Seek feedback from trusted individuals. Adapt and refine social interactions constantly. Irreplaceable people never stop learning to understand themselves and others. It is a continuous journey, not a destination. Chapter Summary. Self-awareness identifies triggers and strengths. Self-regulation transforms reactions into intentional actions. Intrinsic motivation drives sustained effort. Empathy builds trust, loyalty, and collaboration. Social skills amplify influence without force. Conflict and criticism are growth opportunities. Emotional agility enables resilience. Storytelling and emotional resonance increase influence. Mindfulness sharpens clarity and control. Emotional intelligence is cultivated through daily practice. Reflection prompts. 1. Which emotions control me more than I control them? 2. How can I respond more deliberately in challenging situations? 3. Who could benefit from my empathy or emotional support this week? 4. What stories from my life could inspire and connect with others? 5. How can I practice mindfulness to improve emotional awareness and decision-making? Emotional intelligence is the secret currency of irreplaceable people. It allows you to connect deeply, influence positively, and navigate life gracefully. The more you understand yourself and others, the stronger your impact, trust, and legacy. Chapter 14. Decision-making mastery. How irreplaceable people make choices that multiply their success. Every second of your life presents a choice. Some are small, what to eat, which email to answer first. Some are life-altering, which career to pursue, which partnerships to form, which risks to take. Irreplaceable people don't wait for clarity to strike like lightning. They develop a system, a method, for making decisions consistently, wisely, and efficiently. Because decision-making is not just about intelligence, it's about clarity, courage, and discipline. Lesson 1. Understand the true cost of decisions. Every choice carries cost, sometimes obvious, sometimes hidden. Emma was offered a high-paying job in a city far from her family. The salary was tempting, but she paused. If I take this, I lose daily moments with my family, my friends, and my support network. Is this worth it? She calculated not just the money, but the emotional, social, and long-term cost. Irreplaceable people consider the full spectrum of consequences: immediate, delayed, tangible, and intangible. Actionable step. 1. For each major decision, list benefits and costs. 2. Consider impact on health, relationships, personal growth, and long-term goals. 3. Make decisions with a holistic perspective. Lesson 2. Avoid analysis paralysis. Learn the 80-20 of decision-making. Too much information can stall action. Mark wanted to start his business, but spent months analyzing every minor detail. Progress was zero. Frustration grew. Then he applied the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of factors that will create 80% of the results. Decision. Pick the core action. Execute, adjust as needed. Irreplaceable people move quickly with sufficient clarity, refining along the way instead of waiting for perfect conditions. Actionable step. 1. Identify the vital few factors that matter most. 2. Accept some uncertainty. Perfection is an illusion. 3. Commit and adjust while moving forward. Lesson 3. Embrace emotional clarity before acting. Emotions can cloud judgment or illuminate the best path. Emma felt anxious about launching a project. Instead of rushing, she paused, journaled, and identified the fear of failure. She recognized excitement behind the fear, a signal she cared deeply about this project. Irreplaceable people acknowledge emotions without letting them dominate, turning insights into actionable clarity. Actionable step 1. Pause before major decisions. 2. Label your emotions and examine their source. They separate fear from facts. Use emotions as guidance, not obstruction. Lesson 4. Develop a decision-making framework. Systems beat raw talent and consistency. Mentor. Every decision should answer 3 questions. 1. Does this align with my goals? 2. Does it respect my values? 3. Will it bring long-term benefits? Student. Even for small choices? Mentor. Especially small ones. They compound. Irreplaceable people use frameworks to make faster, more consistent decisions, reducing stress and hesitation. Actionable step 1. Define your core values and long-term goals. 2. Develop 3 to 5 guiding questions for decisions. 3. Apply consistently to both small and big choices. Lesson 5. Leverage past experience and patterns. History is a teacher. Alex noticed that every time he ignored small feedback, small issues became major crises. He started building feedback loops into every decision. Irreplaceable people learn from the past to predict outcomes, spotting patterns others miss. Actionable step 1. Keep a decision journal. Record choices, reasons, and outcomes. 3. Review patterns monthly. 4. Adjust frameworks and habits based on lessons learned. Lesson 6. Balance intuition and analysis. Both rationality and intuition matter. Emma had all the data, but her gut screamed no about a partnership. She paused, analyzed why, and realized previous experiences mirrored her intuition. Irreplaceable people trust intuition informed by experience, blending it with rational analysis. Actionable step 1. Listen to your gut. 2. Cross-check with facts and analysis. 3. Make decisions that satisfy both emotional and logical clarity. Lesson 7. Risk assessment. Calculate, don't fear. Fear of failure paralyzes most people. Jake hesitated to launch a new product. Instead of overthinking, he assessed risk versus reward. Worst case scenario? Recoverable? Best case scenario? Game-changing. Irreplaceable people take calculated risks, understanding potential outcomes without letting fear dictate action. Actionable step 1. Identify worst case, best case, and most likely outcomes. 2. Prepare contingency plans. 3. Execute with courage. Lesson 8. Timing is a hidden multiplier. When you act is as important as what you do. Mentor. You can have the best idea in the world, but if you act too early or too late, it fails. Learn to sense readiness, yours and the market's. Irreplaceable people observe, sense, and act at the optimal moment, multiplying impact. Actionable step 1. Evaluate external factors and personal readiness before big moves. 2. Recognize patterns that signal opportunity. Be patient but decisive. Lesson 9. Commit and own your decisions. Decision-making isn't just choosing, it's owning the outcome. Emma's team expressed doubts about a new initiative. She committed fully, communicated clearly, and accepted responsibility for results, good or bad. Irreplaceable people never blame others for their choices. Ownership builds trust, respect, and authority. Actionable step 1. After making a decision, communicate it confidently. 2. Take responsibility for outcomes. 3. Adjust strategy as needed, but never deny accountability. Lesson 10. Learn to decide in uncertainty. Life is full of incomplete information. Irreplaceable people decide despite uncertainty, embracing imperfection and acting with courage. Emma didn't have all the numbers, but she weighed trends, gut instincts, and values and decided. 6 months later, the choice proved transformative. Waiting for perfect information is the enemy of progress. Actionable step 1. Accept uncertainty as part of life. 2. Gather sufficient information. 3. Commit and take action. Adjust as reality unfolds. Chapter summary. Evaluate the full cost of decisions, beyond money or time. Avoid analysis paralysis by focusing on vital factors. Use emotional clarity to guide actions. Apply a consistent decision-making framework. Learn from past patterns and experiences. Balance intuition and rational analysis. Take calculated risks with preparation. Recognize optimal timing for maximum impact. Own your decisions and their outcomes. Decide confidently in uncertainty. Action multiplies success. Reflection prompts. 1. Which major decisions have I avoided due to fear or uncertainty? 2. How can I better calculate the full cost and benefit of a choice? What decision-making patterns have I noticed in my past? 4. How can I blend intuition and analysis more effectively? 5. Which upcoming decision requires calculated action now rather than delay? Decision-making mastery is the multiplier of success. It transforms opportunities into results, vision into reality, and potential into legacy. Irreplaceable people decide deliberately, act courageously, and own their path, shaping lives, organizations, and worlds along the way. Chapter 15. Creativity and Problem Solving. How irreplaceable people turn challenges into opportunities. Challenges are inevitable. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. Opportunities are not handed to the passive. They are created by those who see possibilities where others see obstacles. Irreplaceable people are master problem solvers and creative thinkers. They don't wait for solutions to appear. They invent them, adapt, and turn challenges into leverage. Lesson 1. Shift perspective. Problems are opportunities. Emma's product launch failed. She felt frustration, disappointment, and self-doubt creeping in. Then she paused and asked, "What is this teaching me? How can this challenge become an opportunity?" She realized the failure highlighted hidden customer needs she hadn't addressed. Instead of dwelling on failure, she pivoted, redesigned the product, and the next launch exceeded expectations. Reframing problems creates creative breakthroughs. Irreplaceable people see the upside hidden in every challenge. Actionable step. 1. Write down your current challenges. Ask, what opportunity is hidden here? 3. Brainstorm at least 3 ways to leverage the situation positively. Lesson 2. Cultivate a creative mindset. Creativity is not only for artists. It's a skill cultivated through curiosity and play. She notices connections others miss, how leaves overlap like puzzle pieces, how children solve problems intuitively, how small acts of kindness ripple through a community. Irreplaceable people practice seeing patterns, connections, and solutions that others overlook. Actionable step. 1. Observe your environment actively for 10 minutes daily. To ask, how could this inspire a solution or idea? 3. Keep a small journal of observations and creative thoughts. Lesson 3. Break problems into smaller pieces. Large problems feel overwhelming. They paralyze action. Mentee. I can't figure out how to scale my business when it's too much. Mentor. Break it into smaller components. Solve one piece at a time. Irreplaceable people deconstruct challenges, focusing on manageable, actionable steps. Actionable step 1. List your problem. 2. Divide it into 3 to 5 smaller, solvable parts. 3. Tackle them sequentially, adjusting as you progress. Lesson 4. Combine knowledge. Cross-pollinate ideas. Innovation often comes from combining unrelated concepts. Alex needed a solution for a software workflow issue. By observing architecture and visual design principles, he invented a new intuitive interface. Irreplaceable people borrow ideas from diverse fields, blending them into unique solutions. Actionable step. 1. Study ideas outside your industry or field. 2. Look for patterns that can solve your problems. 3. Experiment by combining concepts creatively. Lesson 5. Embrace failure as feedback. Fear of failure is the enemy of creativity. Emma's first 5 product designs failed. Instead of quitting, she documented why each failed. Design A, usability flaw. Design B, missing feature. Design C, poor marketing. Failure became a roadmap for improvement. Irreplaceable people see failures as data, not defeat. Actionable step. 1. Track failures and lessons learned. Burke asked him, what is this teaching me? So you iterate quickly. Don't let failure stop progress. Lesson 6. Use constraints as catalysts. Limits aren't obstacles. They spark ingenuity. Lena couldn't afford expensive software. She used free tools creatively, repurposed resources, and achieved results bigger than competitors with larger budgets. Constraints force thinking differently, often leading to breakthrough solutions. Actionable step. 1. Identify constraints in your current problem. 2. Ask, how can I use these limits creatively? 3. Explore unconventional approaches and test them. Lesson 7. Ask better questions. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your solutions. Colleague, how do we increase revenue? Irreplaceable thinker. What small change could make our customers' lives easier while increasing revenue? The question itself reframes the problem and opens new possibilities. Actionable step. 1. List 5 questions about your challenge. 2. Reframe each to uncover hidden insights. 3. Focus on questions that spark action and exploration. Lesson 8. Collaborate and leverage collective creativity. 2 or more minds are often better than one. Emma involved her team in problem-solving sessions. Different perspectives revealed blind spots she hadn't considered. Collaboration multiplied creativity, resulting in solutions none could have found alone. Actionable step. 1. Invite diverse perspectives when solving problems. Encourage open dialogue and safe idea sharing. First, synthesize the best ideas into actionable solutions. Lesson 9. Take action. Before perfecting creativity is meaningless without execution. Alex could have waited for perfection. Instead, he launched a minimum viable product, gathered feedback, and improved iteratively. Irreplaceable people value speed with learning over delay for perfection. Actionable step. 1. Identify your next actionable step. 2. Execute immediately, even if imperfect. 3. Refine continuously based on feedback and results. Lesson 10. Cultivate curiosity as a daily practice. Curiosity fuels creativity and problem solving. She asks, why do people behave this way? How does this system work? What if I tried it differently? Irreplaceable people never stop asking, exploring, and experimenting. Actionable step. 1. Ask at least 3 what if or why questions daily. 2. Explore new skills, tools, or perspectives weekly. Read, document insights and experiments in a journal. Chapter summary. Shift perspective. See challenges as opportunities. Cultivate a creative mindset through observation and curiosity. Break problems into smaller, actionable steps. Cross-pollinate ideas from diverse fields. Embrace failure as feedback and data. Use constraints as catalysts for innovation. Ask better, more strategic questions. Collaborate to leverage collective creativity. Take action before perfection. Iterate continuously. Cultivate curiosity as a lifelong habit. Reflection prompts. 1. Which challenge in my life can be reframed as an opportunity? 2. How can I use constraints creatively to solve problems? 3. What lessons have I learned from past failures? 4. Who could I collaborate with to gain new perspectives? 5. What small action can I take today to turn an idea into a real solution? Creativity and problem solving are the superpowers of irreplaceable people. They turn obstacles into stepping stones, scarcity into advantage, and complexity into clarity. Every challenge becomes an invitation to innovate, grow, and leave a lasting impact. Chapter 16. Networking and Relationships. How irreplaceable people build connections that last. No one achieves greatness alone. The strongest careers, the most meaningful lives, and the most powerful legacies are built through relationships, genuine, deep, and mutually valuable. Irreplaceable people understand that who you know matters, but who knows you matters even more. And building lasting connections is not about collecting contacts. It's about creating trust, value, and authenticity. Lesson 1. Quality over quantity. It's easy to think that having thousands of contacts is the key to influence. It isn't. Emma realized she had 3,000 connections but couldn't call a single one for genuine advice or support. Irreplaceable people focus on deep, meaningful connections instead of superficial numbers. Actionable step. 1. Identify the 20% of contacts who truly matter. 2. Invest in these relationships with time, attention, and support. 3. Let go of shallow, one-sided connections. Lesson 2. Give before you receive. True networking is not a transaction. Emma, I'm hoping you could help me with guidance. Mentor, how can I help you today? Emma, pausing. Actually, I've been compiling research that might help your upcoming project. Can I share it with you? The mentor was impressed, not by her request, but by her initiative to provide value first. Irreplaceable people build trust and influence by giving first, time, knowledge, or support. Actionable step. 1. Identify ways you can genuinely help others. 2. Offer assistance without expecting immediate return. 3. Track your contributions and look for natural reciprocation. Lesson 3. Listen more than you speak. Listening is the secret weapon of relationship mastery. Emma noticed a colleague's body language showed hesitation. Instead of jumping in, she asked, "I sense something's on your mind. What are you thinking?" The colleague opened up, sharing insights that shaped a critical project decision. Irreplaceable people listen actively, detect subtle cues, and understand others' true needs. Actionable step. 1. Practice active listening. Repeat back what you hear to confirm understanding. 2. Observe nonverbal signals, tone, posture, and micro-expressions. 3. Ask open-ended questions to encourage deeper conversation. Lesson 4. Authenticity, the foundation of trust. People sense when you're genuine. Instead of rehearsed lines, Emma shared a personal story about her journey. People remembered her, not her title, but her authenticity. Irreplaceable people lead with honesty and vulnerability, creating lasting impressions. Actionable step. 1. Share stories that reveal your values or journey. 2. Avoid exaggeration or pretending. 3. Align your words with actions consistently. Lesson 5. Follow-up and consistency connections are made in moments but nurtured over time. Emma, I enjoyed our conversation yesterday. Here's a resource I thought you might find helpful. Consistency turns fleeting interactions into meaningful relationships. Actionable step. 1. After meetings, send thoughtful follow-ups. 2. Schedule periodic check-ins with key contacts. 3. Show genuine interest in their progress or success. Lesson 6. Give recognition and celebrate others. People remember how you make them feel. Emma highlighted a colleague's contributions. Your idea solved a major problem. Thank you for your insight. This creates loyalty, gratitude, and stronger bonds. Irreplaceable people acknowledge others, celebrate success, and lift people up. Actionable step. 1. Publicly or privately recognize contributions of others. 2. Celebrate milestones and wins no matter how small. 3. Make appreciation a daily habit. Lesson 7. Strategic networking. Build bridges, not just contacts. Networking without purpose is wasted effort. Instead of collecting business cards randomly, she focused on people aligned with her values and long-term goals. Irreplaceable people build networks that are mutually beneficial, not transactional. Actionable step. 1. Identify your long-term goals and ideal connections. 2. Prioritize meaningful interactions over superficial ones. 3. Look for mutual opportunities to collaborate or grow together. Lesson 8. Emotional intelligence in relationships. Strong connections require understanding emotions, perspectives, and boundaries. Emma, I understand both your perspectives. Let's find a solution that respects both your priorities. Irreplaceable people use empathy, patience, and emotional awareness to maintain and strengthen bonds. Actionable step. 1. Observe emotional states in conversations. 2. Adapt communication to resonate with the other person. 3. Resolve conflicts respectfully and constructively. Lesson 9. Be memorable. Create experiences, not transactions. People forget facts but remember experiences and feelings. Her participants left inspired, valued, and connected, not just with knowledge but with emotion. Irreplaceable people create meaningful interactions that leave a lasting impression. Actionable step. 1. Add a personal touch to interactions, stories, humor, or insight. 2. Engage senses and emotions, not just intellect. 3. Be present, attentive, and thoughtful in every interaction. Lesson 10. Relationships are lifelong investments. Connections grow stronger over years, not weeks. The mentor who once guided her now sought advice on strategic decisions. Trust, respect, and mutual value had compounded over years. Irreplaceable people invest in relationships consistently, understanding that influence grows with time and care. Actionable step. Dedicate time weekly or monthly to key relationships. Offer support without expecting immediate returns. Track progress, celebrate milestones, and nurture growth. Chapter summary. Prioritize quality relationships over quantity. Give first before expecting value. Listen actively and understand unspoken needs. Lead with authenticity and vulnerability. Follow up and maintain consistency. Recognize and celebrate others' contributions. Build networks strategically for mutual growth. Apply emotional intelligence to maintain trust. Create memorable experiences, not just transactions. Invest in relationships as lifelong assets. Reflection prompts. 1. Which relationships are most meaningful in my life and am I nurturing them? 2. How can I provide value to others before asking for help? 3. What steps can I take this week to strengthen trust with key contacts? 4. Where can I celebrate and recognize the contributions of others today? 5. How can I create memorable experiences in my interactions, leaving a lasting positive impression? Networking and relationships are the bridges that amplify your impact. Irreplaceable people don't just collect contacts. They cultivate trust, offer value, and create lasting bonds. Through genuine relationships, opportunities multiply, influence grows, and legacies are built. Final chapter. The Irreplaceable Blueprint: How to Stand Out, Stay Strong, and Keep Evolving. There comes a moment in every great journey when the traveler looks back, not to measure how far they've gone, but to realize how much they've become. Becoming irreplaceable was never about being better than others. It was about becoming the fullest version of yourself, disciplined, wise, resilient, and valuable to the world in ways only you can be. And now, in this final chapter, we bring everything together under one guiding principle: how to stand out, stay strong, and keep evolving. Because being irreplaceable is not just a title. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, a set of daily habits that create a lasting legacy. Part 1. Stand out, personal branding and influence. Your personal brand is your silent ambassador. It's how the world remembers you when you're not in the room. Irreplaceable people craft their reputation with intention. They are consistent. They act with integrity. They show value through action, not words. Influence and persuasion are an extension of your brand. The more authentic you are, the more people trust, follow, and respect you. Stand out by being reliably exceptional and genuinely helpful, not by trying to impress. Actionable steps: audit your presence, online and offline, and align it with your values. Listen more than you speak. Communicate with empathy and clarity. Deliver on promises, even small ones. Reflection. Prompt: how do people currently perceive you? What one consistent action can you take today to improve your reputation? Part 2. Stay strong, resilience and mental toughness. Challenges are inevitable. Storms will come, but irreplaceable people stay strong because strength is built in adversity, not comfort. They embrace challenges as opportunities to learn, to adapt, to grow. Resilience doesn't mean never breaking. It means recovering faster, wiser, and calmer than before. Practical tips: pause before reacting in stress. Reframe failures as lessons. Protect your mental and physical health like a sacred asset. Reflection. Prompt: recall a recent setback. How could you view it as a stepping stone instead of a barrier? What daily habits will you implement to strengthen your resilience? Part 3. Keep evolving. Lifelong learning, productivity, and growth. The world never stops changing, and neither should you. Irreplaceable people evolve with it. They prioritize deep work to achieve more without burning out. They stay curious, learning every day to remain ahead. They embrace change as a tool, not a threat. Growth isn't a goal, it's a habit. It's a commitment to becoming better than you were yesterday, every single day. Key practices: schedule learning and reflection into daily life. Focus on mastering skills that multiply your value. Continuously reassess your methods and mindset. Reflection. Prompt: what skill or knowledge will you commit to mastering this year? How can you structure your day to make learning a non-negotiable habit? Part 4. Build meaningful connections. Networking that matters. Irreplaceable people don't climb alone. They lift others as they rise. They know every great opportunity came through a person, a conversation, a connection. But here's the difference. They don't network to take, they network to give. They make others feel valued, ask meaningful questions, and show up with genuine curiosity and care. Golden rule: the most powerful currency in the world is goodwill. Reflection. Prompt: who in your network could use your support today? How can you strengthen one relationship this week by giving value without expecting anything in return? Part 5. The Irreplaceable Mindset, the Unifying Force. To truly stand out, stay strong, and keep evolving, you must shape how the world sees you with authenticity. Inspire action through influence and empathy. Manage your time and energy for maximum impact. Learn relentlessly and adapt to every challenge. Build resilience to overcome adversity. Nurture relationships that leave lasting legacies. This is the blueprint for becoming irreplaceable. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through purposeful, consistent action. every day. Final reflection. The legacy you leave behind. Being irreplaceable isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, reliable, and relentless. It's the courage to stand for something when everyone else is silent. It's the discipline to keep going when no one is watching. It's the kindness to help others rise even when you're still climbing. Your legacy begins with one question. When people think of me, what do I want them to feel? You don't need millions of followers. You need a few people who can say, because of you, I didn't give up. That is what it means to be irreplaceable. And now, the journey is yours to continue. Take these lessons, apply them, and live a life where your presence matters. Because you have everything it takes to stand out, stay strong, and keep evolving. The next chapter is not in this book. It's in your life. The story of the irreplaceable isn't written in pages. It's written in every choice, every action, and every moment of courage.